Hello, everybody. I've been busy this couple days. Haven't been able to sleep, so during the day I cat nap here and there. I don't know why I do that sometimes. It's just, you know. The first night it was because I was waiting for a Walmart order that didn't come till the morning. I want to make sure I was up when it got here because it was from 6 o'clock to 9. And that's my little peeve today. We ordered, and we do this all the time. We ordered some stuff to go into, add on to what we have food-wise. And it was supposed to be here between, I think it was either 3 and 5 or 5 and 7 or something like that. I think it was 3 to 5. Anyway, so when it come time, I went on the site to check and see, because usually by then you can track it. So I tried to track it. Well, guess what? It never showed up. By the time it got past the time it was supposed to be here, then it popped off with it's being delayed. And when you call them, they got these stupid automated systems. I don't know where to get the idea to put those in there, but they do. And they, you call them, and it takes a bit to get to a live person. So the first live person said, okay, I'll try, I know you want your stuff, we'll get a driver out there as soon as possible. And it popped up with, it would be here by 8:10. Well, it never showed up. Which, there's certain hours, I guess, the delivery from the store runs, so instead of telling me reschedule for the next day, when 8:10 come around and it wasn't here yet, and I went and had to, because at first they wanted us to cancel the order and then reorder it, and I didn't want to do that. Too much trouble. I was tired at the time. But I had to make myself stay up. They said 6 to, I think it was 6 to 8 or something like that. Something like that, anyway. Normally, when I have these bouts where I can't get to sleep, normally I don't get to sleep till 2. Like last night, I was up all night. I couldn't get to sleep. Because where we're at, I don't want to be. I think that's part of the problem. I keep thinking. Plus, I have stuff in storage in California that, I don't want to lose the storage because there's stuff in there that cannot be replaced. My birth certificate, for one. Because foolishly, he put it in the box. And I thought we were taking the box, so I thought it'd be fine there, but we ended up taking it to storage. But, I want to go back. I want to go back to California. But it depends on Gary and Nicole and what they feel they want to do. If they go back, we will go back. But it seems like every year the storage goes up, and it's ridiculous. It shouldn't be going up like that. They should keep it the way it was instead, because it's a small storage, not a big one. And that's our lives in there. That's 30 plus years, of us collecting stuff. And there's some junk in there, yeah. But a lot of it isn't junk. I have jewelry in there. I have jewelry here, but I have jewelry there. Like my real ring is there in that storage. I hope so anyway. But I don't like moving. It's not that I dislike the state. It's just they give you lower on SSI where it's even harder to live. And with the fact that we have to pay for the bed, which the mattress is $65 by itself a month, and then this couch plus our son's couch, and we tried to go through these furniture stores and stuff, like Ashley and stuff, and they wouldn't approve us. And Chris has got he's in the good part of the credit thing. The credit score is good, in the good, it's not fair, it's in the good. Which I don't know what's going to happen when, next day to the next. And right now he's waiting for his card. But other than that, it's just, it's crazy, I think all states need, with the SSI, needs to meet the, disabled person so they can keep a roof over their head. And, they can get food stamps, but now they have, ban on certain things, and, it's going to get worse. And I think it does have a lot to do with Trump, to tell you the truth. And I'm not hating on him, and I don't like him. I personally really don't like him. But I'm not hating on him or nothing, you have to live with what you have. So he was elected, so he is a president, but doesn't mean I want 2028 to come real quick so we can get this fool out of office. And today happens to be my brother's 76th birthday. God, how do we get so old? Well, yesterday was my mother-in-law's, who's I don't know how you put it, because there's certain guidelines you have to follow for YouTube, and I don't like, messing up. Like, certain music is, copyrighted and you can't use it in the background, and, certain things you can't say either, But the only thing I can come up with to say, she passed away. So, nicest way I can put it, And tomorrow's my mother's. And, I do pretty good, but, I still miss her, And then, it's just having a struggler. Life is just struggling lately for people. It's not just me, there's so many homeless out there, and not all of them are mentally challenged or nothing. They just can't afford to rent. I mean, here it's not so bad. It's $9.69 or something like that, I think. Yeah, $9.69 I pay. But that includes the utilities. 220 of that is utilities, but I mean, it's not that it's bad, too much for us. It's just because of the change of the checks, because the checks are only $9.94. It kind of hard. I mean, we can make ends meet. It's just that extra money's not there. And I mean, I know it's hard for other people too. I mean, there's people, even older than me that are on regular Social Security that worked all their lives, and they still can't make it because they only get a certain amount a month. And they don't always get it on first. They have to wait till the third. So, it's crazy how things work, huh? And in other countries, we get free medical no matter where we're at and where they're at, and they have better ways to handle the food situation, and they and here we can't even feed the ones we got, and then we got the president trying to start a war. It's not really a war because not everybody, the military hasn't flown over there. Not many of them, not as many as they actually do, but it's a conflict right now, and we don't be needing to do anything like that right now. We need to start, taking care of the earth. We need to start taking care of ourselves. We need to make people able to live, But, and I worry about stuff like that. I really do. I worry about other people too. I'm not the only one. I mean, compared to here, where you only get $9.94, in California you get 1,233. Well, I wish they would do that here, because then we'd really be all right. But that's not the way it is. Texas, I don't think Texas will ever catch up. They're falling behind, and there's a lot of states. It's not just Texas is like this. It isn't just Texas that has low. Sorry about that. That has low, SSI payments and low Social Security payments, and let's not even talk about welfare. Because that's just a little bridge to until mothers get jobs, and then they're complaining about that, and then we got people saying, you shouldn't be this religion, you should stick to this one, which is Christianity. I can't say it. I don't have any teeth. I lost my bottom one the other day. Anyway, we got people online that are saying, Christianity is the religion. It's the right religion. Well, it may not be. We don't know until we get to heaven what's going to be what. We don't know. Judaism is older, way older than Christianity. Catholic and Christian are the same age. They're 2,000 years old. Buddhism is way older. So is, well, Islam's only 1,400. 1,400 years. And they're trying, there's people on there saying, well, if you're Muslim, then you're a terrorist. They're not all terrorists. I'm not educated on the religion, but I know they're not. They're not evil people. It's not the religion, it's the person that's going to be either evil or good. And now, with the conflict with Pope, which he needs to leave him alone, because, well, you know what I mean. We already went over that the other day. It's just, it's getting hard for people to live in this country, and a lot of people are leaving it. They can, But we need a president that's going to help the poor people of the country too. I understand y'all want, and I know the ones that think Trump is going to give you tax breaks. I haven't seen it. No, I haven't. I've seen it for the rich, but I've not seen it for the people that actually need it. That work hard, put into it. You know, there's families that are working 2, 3, 4 jobs to keep themselves above water, to keep them above from being in poverty. You know, it's like, and then everybody's blaming immigrants. It's not their fault either. Everybody's an immigrant in this country except the native people who were here when they all got here. I mean, I'm a descendant of immigrants. I mean, they went after their citizenship, but, so that's just what's been happening. Sorry I didn't post yet. I was sleeping when he went down to the mail. So anyway, I hope everybody has a good day. I will see you guys in the next video, which probably be next, like Monday. Be safe out there and take care of each other. We have to. Anyway, I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.